I do have you beat him.
I will whoop your ass.
Bro, I'll pop that gap right back in that mouth. I'll have you looking like a saber gap tooth tiger. Oh my God, I'll do you dirty. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
You suck.
Hey, if I have though, you though. Oh my, here we go. Hey, not the same fighter. Hey, not the same fighter. Not the same. Hey, when I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say? When I put a beat on you, what are you gonna say?
I was there.
Hey, no, when I put a beat on you. I'm talking about you. You got no power. You got no power.
And you lost. And you still scared him to this day.
No. Bro, I'm gonna knock that gap right back in your mouth. I'm gonna knock that gap into your mouth again. Hey, you fix the teeth. You fix the teeth. But I'm gonna knock that right back in. I'm gonna put bam.
It's Shakur's time right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey. It's like back in the days, right?
It's the biggest fight right here.
No, I thought you was bigger than this, bro.
You know I'm not big. Wait, why do you think I was big?
God, oh man. Wait, good luck.
Shakur Stevenson didn't wait for the dust to settle before appearing in a live interview and delivering a cold warning aimed directly at Ryan Garcia.
He's right there, Shakur Stevenson. Let's go. Let's run that. Hey, I want to be a great champion, and I'm not scared of. I fought Devin Haney, I'll fight Shakur Stevenson, I'll fight anybody. Let's go.
You know, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan, Shakur Stevenson was on our DAZN broadcast earlier, said he's levels above you right now. What do you think of that?
The thing is, like, you got to have some type of punching power to get me off you, because it'll be a different style, and I'm not going to hit him light. Nah. Every time I get, I'm putting it on him, you know? I want that fight. Shakur, let's get it. I see you. Hey, I like the hat. You look fly, but I want that work. Let's get it.
Speaking in a calm voice with sharp, focused eyes, he made it clear that if Ryan Garcia truly wants that fight next, he won't just get outboxed. He'll be knocked out in brutal fashion.
Shakur versus Ryan. I think he wiped the floor with him. You know, I don't think Ryan gonna be able to hit Shakur like Barrios. Barrios was right there to be hit. Barrios was too slow. Barrios didn't have no game plan. He followed them the whole fight. And Shakur is not going to be that fighter in there to be hit on.
And the scary part? He said it like a man who had already visualized the outcome. No theatrics. No yelling. Just that calm, composed assassin energy. The kind that hits far harder than any loud trash talk ever could.
What can we expect from a fight?
We're very fast. You're going to see people that are quick, back and forth. And Shakur knows that he can't get lazy with me at all. That's why, like, he was looking at me right now and goes, ooh, you're not even big. I'm like, bro, you were scared if I was big? That's crazy. Like, that's what you were scared of? All right. So I got a little glimpse on what he was kind of worried about. But size don't win fights at all. You seen that today. Mario was bigger than me. But I was...
Meanwhile, immediately after his win over Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia didn't celebrate like a man satisfied. Still riding the adrenaline, he grabbed the mic and called out Shakur Stevenson, challenging the so-called savant, and vowing to show that speed can outmatch slickness when the lights are brightest.
What happens in a Shakur fight? How does it end in your opinion? Decision, knockout?
We'll hit him with a body shot, he's done.
Why the body shot?
He can't take his body shot. We already know.
Really?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a better jab than my son. My son has an awesome jab. We beat him in the amateurs, okay, with the jabs. When Ryan was young, Ryan was only 16 years old. But he qualified 17, 18 with Shakur. Shakur was on that level. So if you're within 2 years, they're gonna put you in that category, okay? And I said, Ryan, we didn't know Shakur, they didn't know us. But I said, you know what, Ryan, let's work on that jab. Ryan was throwing that beautiful jab, pop, pop, pop. I said, okay, that's what we're gonna work on. Let's start off there.
The contrast is cinematic. Shakur Stevenson speaks like a surgeon, precise and predicting damage, while Ryan Garcia moves like a storm, raw and relentless, demanding the biggest challenge available.
Oh, I'm open to all those, you know, whatever. You know, Shakur is somebody that I fought in the amateurs, and we went at it, you know, and I felt like I beat him. But, you know, the politics in the USA boxing at that time were a little different. And I still got a chip on my shoulder. I've been wanting that rematch for a minute. Hopefully we get it. And, you know, when my hand heals, I'll be looking for that opportunity.
One promises precision and calculated punishment. The other brings explosive chaos. If that exchange ever becomes real, this isn't just a fight. It's a clash of styles, fueled by ego, skill, and pure psychological warfare.
Oscar, apologies if you've already been asked about these two opponents, but what do you think a fight with Shakur Stevenson looks like? They talked about fighting each other next. What do you think that fight would look like?
I love the fight. I mean, look, there's so many options there for Ryan now. Everybody wants to fight him. Everybody wants to dethrone the pretty boy, you know? And now that he has a world title, everybody's after him. So yeah, I think it's a matter of just regrouping, let Ryan rest, and he'll make his decision.
That looming warning from Shakur Stevenson about future smoke suddenly gets drowned out by pure father-trainer emotion the moment Henry Garcia takes the spotlight. This wasn't a calm victory lap. It was years of frustration, criticism, doubt, and redemption all speaking at once through a single microphone. The instant Henry shuts down the rumors and calls the stories fabricated, it's clear. Protective mode is activated. He's not just defending a fighter, he's defending his son's credibility in real time.
Ryan's been doing testing his entire career. He's fought for interim titles. When he fought Tank Davis, we were doing VADA testing and it wasn't for a title. He's been testing his entire career. Every single time we set up a fight, we sign a contract, there's VADA testing. There's no such thing as dropping out of VADA testing. So all those stories are just fabricated, people trying to hate on Ryan, and they're just excuses for Haney to feel good about himself. You know, Haney wants to have an excuse as to why he got beat up, and that's it. So it's all nonsense.
Then boom, the temperature spikes as Henry Garcia starts firing back at critics like Chris Algieri and others. You can hear the raw emotional investment in every word. This isn't polished PR or media-safe answers. It's pure parental pride mixed with competitive vindication. And when he says, "They don't know my son, I know my son," that line hits harder than any tactical breakdown. This isn't just boxing talk, it's identity talk.
Just real quick, I want to go back to the haters because I gotta let this off my chest because I won't be able to sleep. But Chris Algieri, you're a piece of okay? I'm sorry. You and your corny ass partner, okay? Not believing in my son. Sergio Mora, I ran into him and he said, no, your son made me a believer, so I'm not gonna go too hard on him, okay? Robert Garcia, weird, man. Oh, my son can't go over 6 rounds? Sorry, dude. They don't know my son. I know my son, okay? And every father should know their son like I do.
Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia's energy in the same moment is completely different. Calm, reflective, and measured. He thanks his team, talks about diet, discipline, conditioning, and how he used to just swing without thinking, confirming the new and improved version of Ryan they've been building all camp. One side is emotional fireworks, the other is structured gratitude. The contrast is fascinating. Henry Garcia verbally fights the critics, while Ryan credits the system that rebuilt him both physically and mentally.
But let me say something real quick. I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions. I know people like to put us together as beef. I guess it sells, but, you know, I don't hold grudges, and I always want to keep positivity, and I just want to say thank you for all that you've done in my career.
Also, there's the subtle nod of appreciation from Ryan Garcia toward Golden Boy right after the tension-filled exchanges, a glimpse of strategic maturity peeking through the chaos. When a fighter celebrates growth and preparation instead of just the result, it adds depth to the moment. While Henry Garcia unloads years of defensive passion, it creates a layered post-fight atmosphere where the victory feels less like an ending and more like a personal statement to everyone who doubted the process.
Let's go. Well, the answer to your question is, yeah, I know he did it for me, but I told him before, we had dinner last night, and I said, you know what, Ryan? I said, I appreciate that. I said, but you know what? You've already won for me.
That proud, emotionally charged energy from Henry Garcia suddenly hands the spotlight to a completely different frequency when Joe Goossen starts speaking. The tone shifts from protective passion to calm, surgical honesty. The contrast is fascinating to watch in real time. Goossen opens casually with humor about gummies, setting a relaxed vibe. But the moment he adds, "That's exactly how Ryan fights," it's clear, this is veteran acceptance, not surprise, not excuses.
What were your thoughts on Ryan's performance?
Look, that's exactly how Ryan fights. That's exactly how I knew he was going to fight. We tried to prepare for it as best we could. I think, you know, aside from that knockdown in the first round and a few other shots Ryan landed, we blocked a lot of his shots. Ryan obviously outscored us.
Just a trainer acknowledging the stylistic reality they walked into. Then he admits they prepared for the speed, the footwork, the trickiness, and still points out that Ryan Garcia outscored them. That line hits harder than any dramatic headline because it's composed truth, not emotional spin. He even breaks down the inside tying up and foot movement like a coach replaying the chessboard in his head. And you can't help thinking, yeah, that's a technical read disguised as politeness.
He's tricky. He's great on his feet. He'll tie you up on the inside because that's not his favorite place to be. And then he'll move around and walk you into some shots, and if you stall out, he'll come and get you. You know, he's smart. He's smart. And he's fast. And he's fleet of foot. So he's got a lot going for him. He's champ.
But the subtle jab comes when he mentions the first-round knockdown and a few other key shots. That phrasing quietly signals that momentum moments mattered more than sheer punch volume. Then he pivots to Barrios' size and weight drain at 147, carefully balancing context without making excuses, just highlighting physiological reality like a seasoned strategist protecting his fighter's dignity. The coldest moment, though, is when he says, "You don't really train Ryan, you collaborate with him." That layered statement translates to this: Ryan is instinct-driven, self-styled, and unpredictable even to elite trainers. And when Joe Goosen admits he was needling Ryan mid-fight just to get a reaction, that's veteran-level mind games, subtle psychological warfare, almost playful but calculated. Yet through it all, he gives Ryan full credit, calls him champ, praises his speed and ring IQ, and shows genuine respect for Barrios' toughness and effort. No bitterness, no chaos, just composed realism after a high-stakes fight. One side is emotional vindication, the other analytical acceptance. Honestly, that kind of brutally calm honesty from a veteran trainer tells you more about the dominance of a performance than any loud post-fight rant ever could.
Ryan, I've known Ryan for many years, and I got to tell you, Mario Barrios is a fine young man. I love the kid. He's really a wonderful, classy human being, Mario Barrios, and so is Ryan. We're all friends. It's a small community, the boxing community. So I'm happy for Ryan, and I'm sad for Mario Barrios. You know, he put a lot of work. Jonathan and I trained Mario, and we put it close to 3 months of a training camp with him, and it was serious, hard work. We were doing round after round of training. Now, I will tell you, and I don't make excuses for anybody, Mario, you saw how much bigger he is than Ryan. He had to make 147 pounds. I think it's going to be the last time.
That calm, almost professor-level honesty from Joe Goosen, saying Ryan does what he wants, suddenly snaps into a completely different cinematic gear the moment Wade jumps in, screaming domination. And you realize that analytical respect from the losing corner and this explosive breakdown are describing the same reality from two emotional angles colliding at once. Wade points out that Ryan started the fight like the world was watching, and he's right. Storming the center of the ring wasn't just aggression, it was psychological ownership. Ryan clocked in early and never clocked out. Wade keeps hammering the jab to right hand sequence, which directly supports the narrative shift. This wasn't left hook merchant Ryan. This was upgraded, calculated violence with layered setups. When Wade highlights that first right hand hurting Mario Barrios instantly, that's the quiet turning point nobody can spin away. Momentum didn't gradually build, it detonated. And while he admits Barrios' toughness, he still calls it a wash, perfectly matching Goosen's earlier tone of calm acceptance without excuses.
Turns out, Mario Barrios, one tough SOB. He was not going to get knocked out in the first round, and come to find out he wasn't going to get knocked out at all, but that was a tone setter for the fight. And it was like, from that moment on, Ryan had almost zero issue with Barrios, and Barrios had no answers for anything Ryan was doing. And again, I told you, go back and watch my video. Yes, the left hook was prevalent and it landed in this fight and Ryan was devastating with it, but it would be the right hand. It would be the hand that everyone forgot that Ryan Garcia had. And one, to be fair, he hadn't shown had been as devastating as his lead hand for a very long time. That would be the difference.
But the spicy part, Wade saying boxing needed this Ryan. That's not just hype, that's industry psychology. A violent, dominant, locked-in Ryan reintroduces star power and unpredictability in one package. And let's be real, that sells narratives better than any safe performance ever could. Then he pivots to Shakur Stevenson, watching closely, and suddenly the conversation shifts from celebration to danger. Now we're talking speed and explosiveness versus surgical control. Wade questions whether this version of Ryan could shock Shakur again, a bold, risky, and entertaining take. He even highlights the right-hand evolution and sustained 12-round intensity, quietly dismantling the old narrative of Ryan's mentality issues piece by piece. Here's the chaotic truth colliding in your head. Domination over Mario Barrios proves world-level ability. But Shakur is a different kind of puzzle. Not a durability test, a thinking test. And if this newly disciplined, violent Ryan, armed with a functioning jab and evolved right hand, shows up again, the stakes skyrocket.
And it was shocking to see Barrios dominated like that. Like, Barrios has been stopped, right? He's been beaten. There was no pillar-to-post beating that I've ever seen anyone put on Mario Barrios like Ryan Garcia did tonight. And again, the variety in the shots, upstairs, downstairs, the lead hook. He would frame with the jab, which is something I love when fighters do. He would 1-2-1 and frame with that lead hand. And then when Barrios got past the lead hand, bang, left hook, pivot out, right hand. It was like he had an answer for everything, Barrios.
Oh, now that matchup stops being fantasy talk and starts looking like a genuine style collision the sport can't ignore. Zoom out from all the noise, the Shakur warning, Henry Garcia's emotional speeches, Joe Goossen's calm honesty, and Wade's explosive breakdown, and the real story isn't just that Ryan Garcia won. It's how the entire narrative ecosystem shifted in one night. One side spoke with surgeon-like confidence about levels and knockouts. The other answered with performance, discipline, and a version of Ryan that looked sharper, more calculated, and far more dangerous than the chaotic version critics kept labeling. You had a father defending legacy, a veteran trainer accepting reality with composure, analysts screaming domination, and a rival quietly circling like a shark already studying the tape. That's not just a post-fight atmosphere, that's the birth of the next mega storyline. The conversation has evolved from, can Ryan stay focused? To, can this upgraded, violent, disciplined Ryan solve the most technical puzzle in boxing? And that, right there, is cinematic. Power versus precision, instinct versus control, chaos versus calculation. If this trajectory continues, the Barrios fight won't be remembered as the climax. It'll be remembered as the ignition point of a much bigger collision waiting to happen at the elite level. Now, the real question is simple, but dangerous. Does Ryan's explosive evolution crack Shakur Stevenson's surgical defense, or does Shakur's IQ completely neutralize that momentum? Drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Today for more cinematic breakdowns of the biggest fights in the sport.